is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons. With that, we're off to Atlanta for their home opener. Standing by at Mercedes-Benz Stadium are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with the New England Patriots. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1. On the other side of the field for the visiting Patriots, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here come the Patriots to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
A former star in nearby Georgia, this is Sony Michel. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. And now we take a peek at the Patriot offense.
Well, we all know that Rob Gronkowski is one of the premier tight ends in the NFL, but what makes him that way is the size. We see that. The ability to run. He's faster than a lot of wide receivers. The agility. He's almost like a power forward in basketball. And the competitiveness. When that ball is released, he decides it's his and no one else's.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game. And they reacted poorly on that one.
Here we go. Green.
Following the penalty, Michel. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. The starters defensively now for the Falcons. They were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you can tell by this team, all right? Anytime you can tell your offense, hey, just get us a couple touchdowns. We got this thing locked down. That's when you know you're playing well and you're carrying your team along.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michel. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it is permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
There's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. Coleman now. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And down to the 36-yard line here. So that one will get them halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now. They'll set up a throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. And a man, as we look at the starters now, a man who really has earned us talking about him in the booth, Julio Jones.
He's a 1,000-yard receiver each and every year. So sleek, so wonderful. I call him Secretariat.
Coleman. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. It's their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
No, check, Patriot! Now let's go!
This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They face a 2nd and... Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. 3:19.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Looking to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here we go. Green.
He'll look to throw. Caught here by Conley. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Avoids him at the 40. And then he goes with a juke. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. This is Coleman. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Being chased out left. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Keeping it on the ground on first, Michelle. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Michelle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in the 2nd week of the regular season. On 3rd down, Michelle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Atlanta. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atoned for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this will be caught at the 30. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 44 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They're going to look to throw. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
and that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he'll go down at the 28. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. He'll drop to throw. Looking for the end zone. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Offense marching back onto the field, and our focus shifts here to Sony Michel. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Forced out to his left. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. He'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. This time, the extra point up and good.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They begin with Michel on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started over at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. And it's the Saints who are out in front as that inches closer to halftime. The Saints trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, we head up to Kansas City to check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. Keelan Cole, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Carson Wentz, 3 touchdown passes as his guys move to 2-0 on the young season. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. A beautiful thing. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Buying time to his left. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's Coleman. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 24 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Flush to his right, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at this. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Eno Smith, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Falcons continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. He had been held in check. Now he breaks that big run, shows the explosiveness we all knew was there.
All right, tell the truth now. You knew it was just a matter of time, didn't it? We've seen this so many times from him. Hold him down, and then breaks out.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back to throw here. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And Zerline's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And here now come the Falcons. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. And, you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A first down carry for Smith. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Gone!
Back to throw. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
10 more there and another first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now it looks like he'll throw here, eluding the pressure right. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. Scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for Atlanta, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brad.